Hello, and welcome to this introduction to the Stephen Spender Prize. I'm Charlotte Ryland, and I'm director of the Stephen Spender Trust, which has been running the prize since 2004. We're determined this year to make the prize accessible to as many young people as possible and to enable teachers to integrate it into their teaching. So this video is for you, and we hope that it answers any questions that you might have as we launch the prize. We also hope that it enthuses you for poetry translation and encourages you to get your students involved. If you have any queries left at the end, then we'll always be happy to hear from you. So please do get in touch.
So I'm now going to share my screen and show you some slides that we've prepared that answer various questions about the prize. This presentation is also available as a video with music that you can just play directly to your students, but this just gives me the opportunity to explain a little bit more what's going on. So this first slide highlights the creativity that is at the absolute heart of the Stephen Spender Prize, and that it's really aimed at MFL learners and EAL speakers. This is not to say that it doesn't also include students studying English, and we found that it fits in really well with the unseen poetry exercises that GCSE learners take. And I've just picked out two quotations here that I really loved, that came from a teacher and a young participant last year, really highlighting some of the positive aspects of the experience. So the Stephen Spender Prize is open to absolutely everyone, no matter what your language skills. It's possible to translate a poem even if you don't know any of the language when you start the process or only know a few words, and I'll talk about that shortly. It's translating any poem out of any language into English and writing a little commentary about it, and there are cash prizes and publication for the winners. What could you win? Well, we like to think that the experience itself is very rewarding, and that being named as one of the winners is a great honour, and you'll see some of those comments from previous winners. But in addition, there are cash prizes as an incentive, up to £150 for winners in the youth categories. The top prize in the adult category is £1,000, and we found that teachers have entered before and sort of encouraged their colleagues to enter with that £1,000 incentive, and it's a really nice way of getting the teaching body involved in this as well as the students. We publish all the winners in our print booklet. We publish Highly Commended on our website as well. And this year, for the first time, we're commending lots and lots more translators. Up to 30 translators in each of the youth categories will receive a commendation. They'll be named in the booklet and receive a special certificate. So we really want to be able to recognise as many of the entrants as we can. Before the pandemic, we always used to hold an awards event in central London in November. We were already thinking about ways of making that more accessible, and then the pandemic meant that we had to, and so it became a virtual event, which was a really, really lovely and exciting occasion last November. You can watch it on our YouTube channel. There's some little snippets from it here, including a 5-year-old winner and his poem about swordfish in that middle photo there, and also what we found great about being able to do this virtually was that it can involve poets from across the world. And so we had Pedro Serrano, who's there at the bottom of the screen, who's a poet from Mexico, who made a lovely video for us about what it meant for him to be translated, and to be translated in particular by a young person. So again, you can find that on our YouTube channel. What kinds of poems are eligible? Really all poems, and we understand that to include rap lyrics, spoken word, slam poetry. We also encourage translations of BSL poetry, and this is something that we're going to be particularly focusing on in future years. Which language should you or your students translate from? It really is open to any language, and this slide just shows you what range of languages we receive entries from. It's been increasing every year over the past few years. We hit 80 languages last year, and of those we managed to commend or give prizes to a total of 33 languages. One of the things that we're really working on at the moment is helping young people in particular to find a poem that they want to translate. So last year we spent a lot of time putting together suggested lists of poetry which are all online on the Multilingual Creativity website. You'll find links to that on the main Stephen Spender Trust website, and you can see here some of the languages that those booklets are available in, as well as some other sources of poetry. It doesn't matter at all if somebody's already translated the poem that you would like to enter the competition with. What we highlight here is that your translation will still be unique, even if it's been translated several times before. And that, of course, is one of the wonderful things about translation. Every translation is unique. We do ask that if you or the student look at another translation as part of the process, that you mention that in your commentary. And in fact, that can be something really nice to talk about in the commentary, comparing your translation to another version and using that as a way of kind of highlighting the choices that you've made. The commentary is something else we've been working on over the past couple of years to make it as accessible as possible, and so now we've given it an additional structure. We say that for the youth applicants, you should write about 3 decisions that you had to make while you were translating, and we ask you to write up to 300 words. We really want to highlight the fact that the commentary is judged on content and not on style. So we're not so much interested in beautiful prose as in a really interesting engagement with the poem. This slide just gets you to start thinking about how you translate a poem, and if you go on to look at our resources hub, Multilingual Creativity, and our YouTube channel, you'll find that we've put lots of resources on there, lots of them that we made during the first lockdown last year, which really help young people to think about this process of translation and how you move from what might be initially quite a clunky, awkward literal translation to something much more polished and lyrical. And we've got virtual masterclasses on there. We've got a project that encourages speakers of heritage and community languages to work on translations with their family members. We've got a really nice project where we got an illustrator to live illustrate international poems, and we put the audio then alongside that live illustration. You'll find that on our YouTube channel, and we hope that will provide a sort of introduction to what can be quite an alienating experience of reading or listening to a poem in another language for the first time. It's a really nice visual introduction to it. Our judges this year are Karaini Baroka, Daljit Nagra and Samantha Schnee, covering a range of languages, all poets and translators in their own right, and we're really looking forward to working with them this year. We're also working this year with Sasha Aurora Akhtar, who is a poet and a translator from Urdu. She is curating our Urdu Spotlight, which is a new strand of the prize that we've been running for a few years, where we focus on a language that is spoken widely in the UK. And we curate a booklet of poems in that language, and have a special set of prizes for those who translate from that language. And that is solely a youth category, so it's 18 and under, and we also have a 10 and under category. That's where the 5-year-old that you saw earlier on in this video came from, last year's Polish Spotlight. Okay, so just to finish up some of the logistics, how do you enter? Here you can see the categories for the main prize, and we have a new website which includes the submissions portal, and there will also be the option for teachers to submit bulk entries. So rather than entering every poem individually, you'll be able to submit several at once. It is also possible for your students to enter directly. They don't need to go through you, but if you would like to enter a group of your students together, that's absolutely possible. It's free to enter for 18 and under, those 18 and under on the deadline. For everyone else, so if you or other teachers want to get involved, it's £9 per poem. And the deadline this year is Friday the 16th of July at midnight. So that's the end of this presentation. The last 3 slides are just some of the quotations that we've picked out from previous judges, just giving entrance and insight into how they might approach poetry translation. I'll leave you to read those. Back there to that idea of creativity that we started with this video with. And finally, just to say good luck. We really hope that you enjoy engaging in the prize this year. As I said at the beginning, please don't hesitate to get in touch. We're really, really keen to hear from teachers how this is working for you, how we can improve it for next year. All of our contact details are available on our website. Thanks very much for listening. Bye bye.